On this episode of Camp Outside, we're going to do a campground review for 4 Mile Creek State Park in Youngstown, New York. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Camp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Today we're going to be doing a campground review at 4 Mile Creek State Park in Youngstown, New York. 4 Mile Creek State Park is actually just one big campground. It is a really great place to stay if you want to go see Niagara Falls. It's not too far away. It's where we stayed to go see the falls. You also have easy access to the Canadian side, Fort Niagara, and Lake Ontario. So if you want to stay in the upper northwestern corner of New York, I highly recommend this campground. Let's take a look at what this campground has to offer. 4 Mile Creek State Park is in Youngstown, New York. It's easily accessed by Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, and Erie, Pennsylvania, as well as Toronto and London, Canada. Here's a map of 4 Mile Creek State Park, and as you can see, the entire park is a campground. It's quite a large campground, and it's pretty nice. Let's take a look at the restroom facilities. There are 4 main restroom facilities in the campground. They're all a little different, but they all have running water, hot showers, and flush toilets. They are full-service laundry facilities with washers and dryers. So here's a look at one of the restroom facilities. Here's a look at another one. So as you can see, a little bit different design. All of these restrooms were really nice though. Here is the third one. And I'm guessing this one's probably the oldest one. And then here is the last of the 4. So really, really nice restroom facilities. Let's go take a tour inside. So this is the one up by Lake Ontario, and as you can see, there's a little fireplace there, which probably is great in the wintertime. So we're going in the men's restroom. I never go in the women's restroom, but as you can see, this is quite large. It's got a baby changing station, sinks and mirrors, a bench to sit down. I don't know why anybody would sit in the bathroom, but hey, it's got urinals. It's got a couple of stalls. One is standard size, one is handicap size. And then we head over into the shower portion. Really nice, really clean. There's the big handicap shower stall. And then we have individual shower stalls as well. So really like the restrooms in this state park. They were nice and clean. And there were plenty of them. They didn't ever seem to be too busy. And that is a look at the inside of the men's restroom. So here's a look at the coin-operated washers and dryers, as well as a bench where you can fold laundry, and a wash tub. Pretty standard for campgrounds. Let's take a look at the camp store. The camp store is located in the center of the campground, and it's concession run, so it's not open all the time. You have to look at the hours posted outside the door. And then, of course, this is what it looks like. There's a bike rack out front, and of course, this is also where you can buy your firewood and ice. And here's a look inside. So it's got some of the camping essentials like Reese's peanut butter cups and ice cream, as well as various other things that you might need. Let's take a look at the playgrounds. There are 2 playgrounds in the campground, which is essential when you have little kids. We're going to take a look at both playgrounds. We're going to start with the one right next to the camp store. So the one right next to the camp store has a lot of grass around it for playing touch football or throwing the frisbee or that kind of thing. And I think this playground is more set up for little kids. So it's got some slides and some climbing apparatus and things like that, but not really that big of a play set. There's some benches for sitting so you can hang out with your kids, and there's the camp store in the background. Here is the main playground in the campground, and as you can see, it's a little bit larger with some bigger swings and some taller climbing apparatus and slides and things. And again, the bottom of the Playground is lined with mulch for soft landings and lots of grass to play, again, touch football or throw the frisbee or those kinds of things. Really, really nice playground. And then to the rear of it, there's a soccer field with some goals. Here's one last look at this playground and a close-up of some of the climbing apparatus and slides and things. So plenty of playground equipment for kids of all ages. This campground has a yurt village. Let's go check it out. Yurts are increasingly popular, and so this campground has a little yurt village with, I think, about 6 yurts. And they're pretty cool, so let's go check them out. Here's a look at the yurt village from outside. So you've got a parking lot where you can park right next to your yurt, and each yurt has a deck. Each yurt has a picnic table and a fire pit with grill grate outside. So we'll wander up on the deck and put the camera through the window there so you can see in. Looks like air conditioning, bunk beds, and a table. Pretty nice little setup. Let's check out the picnic pavilions. If you have a large group or need a picnic pavilion, the one indicated by the red arrow is a fantastic place to hang out. It's in the middle of a grassy field with great views of Lake Ontario. So here is a look at the picnic pavilion. It's just north of one of the main restroom facilities, and as you can see, there's Lake Ontario in the background. And again, lots of grass around it. Here's a more close-up view. So it has a fire pit with grill grate. Beautiful view of the field and the lake. And as you can see, lots of picnic tables. Should be large enough for your party. Let's take a driving tour. Okay, so for the driving tour, we're going to follow the path with the red arrows. We're going to start off by driving into the campground and past the check-in station, and then follow the roads. So here is the entrance into the state park and the campground. And it's right off the highway, so it's really nice. It's really, really close to Niagara Falls State Park, so that's a great place to check out when you're staying at 4 Mile Creek. And we've already checked in, so we're going to get waved through. So we're going to hang a left, and we're going to start passing campsites. That's campsite 2 on the left there. And so we have evens on the left and odds on the right. And so we're passing campsites 2 through 16 to start. As you can see, this campground is wide open. You're going to see your neighbors and they're going to see you. There's no vegetation to block sight lines. We're going to hang a left here, and as we work our way up, we're going to pass 17 to 40. So, and again, odds on the right, evens on the left. There is a water spigot on the left there, as you can see. So you can definitely fit some pretty big rigs in this campground. There's the cargo camper over there on the left in our tent. That's where we camped. These sites have electric hookup, but they don't have water or sewer hookup. There's another water spigot on the left there. So again, these sites are pretty wide open. And on the right there, we're going to pass site 39. On the left was site 40. If we hung a right, you could see we would go into the Yurt Village, but we're not going to do that. So we're passing 79 on the right. And just keep going straight. So we're passing 79 through 93 on the right side of the road here. I love these sites on the right because they have no one behind them and there's a great view of Lake Ontario behind them. So we just passed site 93. On the left is the playground. On the right is one of the main restroom facilities. Behind that rest facility is the picnic pavilion that I mentioned. And so we're passing site 155 on the right, 156 on the left, and then 157 on the right, 158 on the left and on down. There is a trash receptacle for trash and a recycling bin. We're going to hang a left here and head down this road. So as you can see, these sites are sites 100 to 123. These are standard campsites, so these do not have electric hookup. So when you're looking at the campground map, if it's a pentagon, it's an electric campsite, and if it's a circle, it's a non-electric or standard campsite. So all of these are standard campsites with no electric hookup. But they do have a fire pit with grill grate and a picnic table. Some of them have some nice shade trees. And as we come to this stop sign, if we hang a right, we would go out to the check station. But we're going to continue on this interior loop. Off to the left is the second of the 4 restrooms. And again, those restrooms have laundry facilities. And there's a water spigot / drinking fountain there, as well as trash cans and recycling bins. So we're passing sites 76 down to site 44. And so on the right are the even sites, and on the left are the odd sites. Sites on the left here will back up to the nice grassy field and the soccer field and the playground. Sites on the right back up to sites behind them. There's another water spigot to the left there. And all of these sites on this row are electric sites. No water hookup, no sewer hookup. Okay, so we're going to continue the path with the red arrows. And again, we're going to go by that restroom facility, and then we're going to do the little loop on the far side of the campground. So as we make our turn in, you'll know that we've seen these sites before. That's site 87, 89, 91, and 93. Off to the right, the playground to the left, and then the restroom to the right again. And then site 155 to the right, 156 to the left, 157 to the right, 158 to the left, and then 160 to the left there. Instead of turning left here like we did before, we're going to continue on straight, passing sites 159, 161, and 163 off to the right, and then 164 to the left. Now, traffic does travel in both directions on these roads, but they're not very wide, so I guess you have to obey the laws of physics, right? So 2 objects can't occupy the same space at the same time. So if you got somebody rolling in with a big rig or something, try and stay out of the way, but also keep an eye out for bikers and pedestrians. Okay, now we're passing sites 124, 126, 128, 130, and 132 to the left. And we passed 125 to 133 on the right. We made the turn up this gravel road. And we're passing 135 on the left. And then here's 185 all the way down to 165 on the left. So again, these are the standard campsites, no electricity. These back up to a little woods, which is nice. But again, mostly just open grass. On the right here are sites 170, 168, and 166. And the last site on the left here is 165. Okay, we're going to continue on this path, following the red arrows. We're going to cover a lot of ground in this section of the campground. So we're heading back onto the main road. And we're going to pass sites 125 all the way down to site it's 125 to, looks like 154. So that should be site 134 to the left there, 136. Another water spigot. Again, none of these sites have electric hookup. And the last site on the right there is 143. And then we're coming up to one of two dump stations in this campground. So you can see there's a nice dump station with, looks like 2 spots to dump. And we're going to continue on going straight. We're going to pass the check-in station. If we turned right, we would exit the campground and the park. So we just passed campsite 2 on the left. And we're passing campsite 3 on the right. We're back into the electric sites here. So instead of turning left like I did on the first part of our campground drive, we're going to continue on straight. The last site we're going to pass on the right here is site 15. That's 17 on the left. As we make our way down this road, you'll see we're coming up on the camp store to our right. And then past that camp store is a playground, as I mentioned before. Also dumpsters and recycling. We're going to turn left. And we are going to pass sites 200 to 265. So the evens are on the left, the odds are on the right. All of these sites are electric hookup. These are really nice sites, nice shade trees. Some of them are really deep. As you can see, that camper way back up by that tree there. That's a long driveway. Beautiful wide open spaces. I think we're passing site 223 on the right there. So these sites on the left back up to Lake Ontario. And if I come back to this campground, those are the sites I'm going to try to get. I really recommend sites like 230 to 240, I think. The even ones. Really nice. Again, all these sites are electric. Little gap here between sites. Water spigot off to your right. So I think we're around site 249 there on the right. 250 on the left. And then here is the other dump station in the campground. So this is a one-holer, as it were. It gives you an opportunity to have a second place to dump your tanks if you need to. And then past that is sites 259, 260, 261, 263, and 265 on the right. Off to the right there is another one of the restrooms. We're just passing that driveway. And then we're going to hang a right up this spur. And this spur covers sites 270 to 285. So on the left there is site 270, on the right is 271, 272 and 273. 274 where that gazebo is. And these sites are electric sites. And some of them are handicap sites. So on the map, if you have a site that is grayed out, the number is grayed out, it's a handicap site. Standard sites and just your standard electric sites are open. They're not grayed in on the map. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the red path with the red arrows, heading out of this spur and down into the southern loop in this section of the campground. So we're passing sites 278 to 270, just going the other direction. Passing 270 on the right and 271 on the left. So we're going to do a little jog here. If we went straight, we'd head towards the camp store, but we're not. We're going to turn left and head into the southern loop here. And here we're going to pass sites 300 to 353, I believe. So odds are on the right, evens are on the left. So where that water fill is, that should be site 315. To the right there. And these are non-electric sites. So they have a picnic table and a fire pit with grill grate. Some really nice shade trees though in this section of the campground. Passing another water spigot, so that should be site 323 on the right. And where that water spigot is on the left, that's site 328. I bet this campground is beautiful in the fall. I would definitely love to get back to this part of the country, see all these leaves change. That'd be amazing. That water spigot on the right there should be site 345. Of course, we were there in the summertime, so this video was shot towards the end of June. Okay, so we're going to hang a left here at this spur. And this will take us past the fourth and final restroom in the campground. And we're passing sites 360 and 362 to the left. And then the site to the right there is 374. And as we go down around the loop, we'll pass 372, 370, 368, and 366. Okay, now we're going to follow the path with the red arrow through the remaining part of the campground and out to the check-in station. So as we make our way out of this spur, we'll pass the restroom on the left. We're passing sites 362 and 360 on the right. And those campsites had gravel driveways, which not all of the sites have those. As you can see, the ones across the way here do as well. So that's site 355 and 357 and 359 to the right. We'll take a left at this stop sign and head towards the camp store and ultimately the check-in station. So off to our left there are the dumpsters we passed earlier, the playground. That playground is primarily for little kids. That's the little kid camp playground. And then the camp store. As we make our way down this road, we're entering in the western loop of the campground. And as we continue straight, you will see straight ahead of us, you will see the check-in station. If we were leaving the campground, we'd turn left just past the check-in station. And that's a drive-in tour of the campground at 4 Mile Creek State Park. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that review of 4 Mile Creek State Park and its campground. Guys, I really like this campground. It is wide open, so it's not my usual campsite. You know, I'm more like the trees and vegetation to block sight lines and that kind of stuff. But I had a great time here and I just enjoyed the grass. Let me just tell you, Florida grass sucks. It's terrible. And being from the Midwest, I love Midwestern grass, and to just be able to pitch a tent in the grass and just kind of enjoy the cool breezes and wide open spaces was a welcome change for me. I think that most of the time I'm going to look to book campsites that are more wooded, but we really just use this as a base of operations to go check out other places. Fort Niagara, Niagara Falls State Park, the Canadian side, Whirlpool State Park, Devil's Hole State Park. We went all over the place and use this as a base of operations. So if you just need a place to hunker down for the night as you go explore everywhere else, man, this place is great. If you want to see our camping video from this state park, I'll put a link right up here where you can check that out. Guys, Camp Outside exists to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learn about nature, and develop a conservation ethic. We want to help you get you and your kids outside. And one of the things that we wholeheartedly recommend is that you take a family camping trip to 4 Mile Creek State Park and go see Niagara Falls. It is a fantastic part of the country to explore, and your kids will love it. So if you have any questions about 4 Mile Creek State Park or Niagara Falls or camping in general, drop something in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Or if you've been here before, tell us about your stay. What did you like? You can hit us up on our other social media at Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, or our website at kempoutside.com. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside. We'll see you next time. It's okay.